What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another Epic 7 video. This comment you see on the screen was left to me on my latest Milim Art guide, and it says, I like Car's videos, but it feels like he has no clue on how much resources free-to-play players have. Everything is legit. Try and pull this. Well, no duh, but saving for pity takes a month. No chance of keeping up. I guess these videos are turning more into whale tutorials. I owe so much of my YouTube success to you guys watching that are free-to-play and new players especially, so hopefully I haven't lost my touch on that topic. So let's do an updated video guide on how to get gold, Skystones, and bookmarks, as a few major things have changed in that regard. We'll break all of that down into a nice, neat tutorial for my free-to-plays. So thanks so much for watching. Let's get to it. Real quick, guys, while I shop refresh, it's gonna be one of our major talking points for this video. I want to address one last thing on that comment that we just looked at, and that is, if I pressured anyone and it felt like I was saying, you know, must pull this, must pull that, guys, just understand that this was specifically for the limited characters, and on top of that, limited collab characters. Milim Art specifically, his artifact, I was saying get multiple copies, and that's only because if you miss out this time, these characters may not ever come back in the future. Collabs are kind of iffy on that, and limited just in general, you want to try to grab one of everything. I understand that's not always possible, and that's what this video guide is going to be for. So hopefully you guys feel like I still have your best interest at heart. If you've been following me, I've been telling y'all to skip every other banner. We smelled this slime collab coming. We knew the custom group banner was coming, and hopefully you guys saved enough. And if not, well, from here on out, I'll give you guys some extra tips on how to do just that. Just in case you weren't aware, guys, the major reason to spend these 3 Skystone refreshes in the secret shop, finding these bookmarks instead of buying them directly with Skystones, is you get way more on average. That's the keyword, guys. On average, you'll get way more bookmarks using this refresh method in the secret shop. On top of that, you'll get mystic bookmarks as well, which is just so important, especially for free-to-play players. The only kicker is you need gold to fund that, and you need a lot of gold, which will bring us to our next topic at hand: the best new way to farm just tons and tons of raw gold. So previously, the best way to get lots of gold was during the hunt events, where you get the bonus gold drops as well as all the gear. And stay tuned, guys, I want to talk to y'all about the difference between what this new method is here as well as farming hunts. But essentially, if you just want raw gold, the new best way is to jump into adventures, specifically unrecorded history. Now, I saw some people recommend stage 30, which is definitely a good one, and shout out to my boy Vicchun, who had a nice table breaking down all this new gold farming methods. But stage 30, guys, is mainly if you want to go fast, as it has a lot of just trash mobs, no boss mobs, and can be done very quickly. Now, if quickness or if speed isn't really a concern, which for a lot of y'all, I don't think it should be, really focus on the catalyst, as that's going to be one of the major bottlenecks in your account progression. So all we're going to need for this method is to grab a farming character like Arbor de Vildred. If you don't have them, you can use Free Spirit Tierra. And honestly, like I said, if your time efficiency isn't a big concern, use whatever you have. Just make sure it's characters you want friendship on. And that's for my next point, and that is friendship is going to be so important farming this for 2 reasons. One is the obvious one: you get Molagor, you get skill enhancements depending on what skill enhancement level your character is at. And number 2 is that this ties into the point of this video: you can get raw bookmarks via the memory chain achievements. So make sure you stack and are always efficient at grabbing friendship whenever possible. Beyond that, make sure you equip your best adventure pet for the bonus gains and get straight to farming. So we're going to farm these stages to get a ton of stigma, because Smilegate recently revamped the leveling system, specifically the amount of stigma you get in adventure mode or unrecorded history. We're going to use these increased stigma gains to convert into penguins, and then we're just going to sell those penguins for raw gold. Now remember, guys, even though this method is the best way to get gold, don't neglect still farming hunts. Hunts, specifically during the bonus gold hunt event that Smilegate will just bring out periodically, used to be the best farming method, and I still want a lot of you newer players to do a lot or a majority of your energy spending over there. And that's simply just because at the end game, Epic 7 is all about gear. It's a huge gear grind, so you're gonna want to spend as much time as there possible. On top of that, there are some bonuses you'll get in the hunt as well, like powder, Skystones, that you won't get over here in the unrecorded history. Here's a few additional tips to make that gold grind even more efficient. Make sure you're in an active guild to have these blessings, as both the battle XP and battle gold earned will help a little bit in the long run. Since it's a free-to-play guide, we're not going to talk about the monthlies, but in case you have those activated, those will help as well. Every little bit counts. And just side note, guys, if any of my absolute new players need a guild, I will try to find out one. I have 10 active guilds about, both on EU, on global. We're kind of full. We've been full recently, but spots always open up. So if you really desperately need one, it's so important for free-to-plays especially. hit me up on stream or via Discord, and I'll try and help you out. Now, beyond that, guys, there is in this shop also, in the normal section, scroll down and you'll find these XP boosters, which will also get you more gold. Now, the fact that it costs Skystones, though, I don't think for free to play is worth it, but it's something to keep in mind if you desperately need that additional boost. Now, last thing is, let's talk about artifacts. I'm going to show you guys 5 artifacts that you may or may not have, so check your inventory. That will make this grind even more efficient as well. And let's start with the Brilliant Confidence here. This will increase friendship, and you can have multiple of these friendship artifacts. I believe the only other one in the game is this Days of Destiny, the one with Tamarin on it. So just slap those on the units that aren't your carry so that you can get additional friendship, because remember I talked about how important friendship is. This is one of the best ways to farm that. Now, for XP, which will give us more raw gold, we have Records of Unity, which is the highest percent, 15% here, and I believe the other 15% one is To a New World. Remember, these don't stack, so you only need one of them, and these are usually given out on special events or anniversaries, so if you don't have one, don't sweat it. Just keep an eye out for when it rolls back around and make sure you grab it. This one is also, this one I think was from the first year anniversary, so this may be only to the OGs, but don't worry about that because it's even lower than the others, and like I said, this doesn't stack, so you only need one of these. Quick announcement, y'all. Do I have any Final Fantasy Tactics fans out there? From the PlayStation Original to Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and even War of the Lions, the FF Tactics series are some of my all-time favorite games. So what if I told you there's a mobile game based on all of that? War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is a tactical role-playing game developed by Square Enix and Gumi that has free-to-play features such as gacha systems for summoning new characters, each with their own level progression systems and unlockable new abilities. Did I also mention that it's fully voice acted? Now, the reason I'm bringing awareness to this amazing game is because of the upcoming 2023 official PvP Championship. That's right, guys, this turn-based tactical combat game has an awesome and thriving PvP scene. So listen up closely. On May 20th, I want you guys to check out and tune into the Heinler Cup, which will be live streamed and is just one of the many tournaments happening throughout the entire year. It will feature competitive gameplay from the best of the best with live professional casting as well. So use the QR code on the screen or the links in the description below to join the Discord and find all the info you'll need for these awesome tournaments, and you'll help support me at the same time. Once again, make sure y'all mark your calendar down for May 20th to watch the Heinler Cup live stream, and I'll see y'all there. So with this new method of farming gold, whenever we dip low on this resource, we just top up with that farm method and we can start shop refreshing. But we're going to need some Skystones as well. So let's now discuss the best repeatable methods of getting Skystones as a free-to-play. A lot of y'all already know what I'm going to talk about here, but I still see so many people neglect the importance of this. So let's briefly talk about it, and I'll give some additional tips on how to maintain what I'm going to mention here. And that is, of course, getting your weekly Skystones via your arena ranking. Now, the goal is, I think the best Skystone per minimal effort involved for me is sitting in Champion 5. You get 800 Skystones a week. That's what? 8, 16, 24, 3,200 Skystones a month. Guys, I literally don't play any arena games, and I let my defense team just scare people away. Now, this is just for maintaining Skystones with minimal effort. For those of you that need to still climb up or want to spend flags to get additional conquest points, you may have to play more games or have a different type of defense. I'll cover that here in just a second. But like I said, repeatable ways to get Skystones is free to play. This is the #1 method in my opinion, and always pick the Skystones over Mystics, as we can use those Skystones plus the gold from the farming method to grab Skystones, or excuse me, Mystics in the secret shop anyways. Now, if you can't maintain Champion 5 for the 800 Skystones, that's okay. The next, I think, really efficient benchmark would be Challenger 5 for the 600 Skystones a week. That might be a lot easier for y'all to maintain if you're a little bit newer, but don't even worry, guys, if you can't even hit Challenger yet, okay? Let's say you're absolutely brand new, you don't know anything about Arena, you're still just trying to grind and you can't figure things out, then just get to wherever you can. Push continually to spend those flags and get as far as you can to get those weekly Skystones. On top of that, one thing I'm going to mention here, even though this video is about consistent Skystone gains, so I'm not going to mention every single way to get like all the Skystones available, but whenever you are climbing up, you can always grab these one-time promotion rewards. So while you're climbing up and trying to get to that Champ 5 AFK sweet spot, grab all these promotion rewards along the way, and then you can always even go even further and get those big time promotion rewards on top of it. Now, for those of you that want to AFK maintain weekly Skystones, let's say you don't have a lot of time to play, you're already done kind of farming a lot of conquest points, you're ready to just chill and get all those Skystones, just create a defense team that looks scary enough to scare opponents away. You can copy mine or my recommendation, guys. If you didn't know about this, just go into the, I believe it's under ranking, and just look at the top players and copy one of their teams, whatever you have access to. If you don't have the exact units, that's okay. Just try to find a combination. And those of you that already know kind of figuring out PvP, you create your own team. Essentially, you're trying to just create a team scary enough to where the person involved is going to feel like they don't want to put in the effort to figure out how to easily beat your defense. That's really the gist of it. If someone truly wants to beat your defense team, they'll be able to. You just want to make it as hard as possible, so they'll pick instead an easier opponent. On top of that, if you attack less, you'll be seen less on the defense teams, and that's how I get away not playing a single match for months, and I just rake in that 3,200 Skystones a month, 800 Skystones a week. So once you have your arena on point, now you have access to farming a ton of gold. You can shop refresh to your heart's content. Just don't neglect the hunts like I mentioned during the gold farm talk. Beyond that, guys, I kind of mentioned the memory chain area here with a friendship to get these additional bookmarks, so make sure you do that while you're gold farming. There's other one-off methods, I believe, here. Since I already grabbed them, I can't show y'all, but filling the hero journal as well as triple S-ing or imprinting heroes will give you additional bookmarks on top of that. There's a ton of one-off methods like expeditions, abyss, that as a free-to-play, you're just gonna have to dig deep and get all of those depending on how much playtime you have and in any given basis. But if you are trying to get that Benny Mar, you're trying to get those additional artifacts, your favorite content creator, maybe that's me, is telling you, you gotta pull this, you gotta pull that, do everything available. And if y'all want additional help on me listing all those extra one-time areas to get Skystones, I can compile a video of all that for you. But I think a lot of y'all already know where those are available. Labyrinths, expos, auto tower, things you probably already looked at and seen. You're just gonna have to put in the time to grab those one-time Skystone rewards. Next up, guys, I want to briefly touch on the recently revamped side story missions. Whereas before, Smilegate would automatically reset the side stories for you, nowadays if you're not resetting every 2 weeks manually yourself, you are missing out a little bit on efficiency for resource gain, and that's very important for free-to-play players. If you can see on the bottom left-hand side here, I just reset this to show y'all, but every 2 weeks we can get a new side story, so make sure you're completing this on a schedule basis. If you go step inside, we already know the rewards, but just to show y'all, of course, you get some Skystones for the star achievements. In the reputation tab, there's extra Skystones as well. In the exchange shop, we get some bookmarks, and then of course in the quest tab there are bookmarks too. And on top of that, guys, the side stories are a great source of catalysts, molas, gold, all that great stuff. So just make sure every 2 weeks you're resetting this when you can to keep up the efficiency. The only last tip I have for my free-to-plays out there is learn when to predict when the collabs or limited banners are going to roll around. Of course, I'll always put out videos when we either get updates, news, leaks, or when we can kind of just smell and predict when these banners are rotating. And that's when you're going to want to stockpile and save. Use the methods I talked about in this video to stockpile a ton of bookmarks. Skip out on all the red, green, blue units that you can get at any other time via selective or side story summons. And just stockpile, like I mentioned, to make sure you have enough to grab these limited characters and their artifacts, and you don't feel as much pressure. So I hope this helps you all out in your summons. I wish you the best of luck. If you can, guys, use the link in the description below to join the Final Fantasy War of the Visions Discord. Joining it will just help me out a ton, and then watch the tournament as well. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you, guys. Peace out, everybody.